Hi, I'm Hannah, and today we're going to look at how the future of education is going to change over the years with technology. The first thing we need to look at is disruptive technology. What is disruptive technology? Well, according to whatis.com, a disruptive technology is one that displaces an established technology and shakes up the industry. We are constantly being flooded with new technology that makes old, innovative technology seem completely outdated and irrelevant to things now. Look at some of those examples. The typewriter was replaced by personal computers, letters by email, the floppy drive by USB devices, and pagers by cell phones. In some cases, disruptive technology will create an entirely new industry that we didn't even know existed. So let's look at what disruptive technology is changing education right now. One of those disruptive technologies is 3D printers. 3D printers are turning regular classrooms into science, technology, engineering, and math labs. They give students the opportunity to participate in global collaborative communities where they are working on real world projects. For example, in his article, 3D Printing Will Transform Education, McHugh talks about a project, Operation Shelter, where 3D printers are being used to design and create shells to help save hermit crabs. Students will now have the ability to think it, design it, and print it, bringing their ideas and learning to life. Another form of disruptive technology is augmented and virtual reality. Augmented reality places computer generated imagery on things in the current environment. So think of Snapchat when you take a picture and it applies that filter to your face. That is augmented reality. Augmented reality is making plain print like worksheets and bulletin boards interactive by placing video and other means of media over that print that is then viewable by a device such as an iPad. Virtual reality creates a computer-generated environment that places the user in a totally new place. Students can use virtual reality to go on virtual field trips to places that they have read about in their textbooks that they can't otherwise go see. Additional examples of disruptive technology are gamification and flipped classrooms. Gamification gets students actively learning by practicing skills in a simulated environment. Gamification can happen individually and collaboratively. Some examples of gamification that I've seen at my school site are ST Math, Lexia, and digital breakouts. In ST Math, students practice math skills from simple counting to complex ideas like the properties of operations, all while helping get Gigi the penguin through different levels. Lexia provides differentiated literacy instruction and fun-leveled mini games. In digital breakouts, students work collaboratively to solve a series of puzzles to open a locked box. I have seen that gamification is really engaging and fun for students. The flipped classroom is a new model of teaching where content is now delivered virtually. In the traditional model, the teacher delivered the lecture or lesson at school. Now, students access the content at home. This gives educators the opportunity to work collaboratively and co-teach to their strengths. Class time is now spent with the students applying their learning rather than learning from a lecture. All right, so let's travel 30 years into the future to see what my predictions for what education is going to look like. Okay, so here are my predictions for education in the future. Picture it, life in 2050. Massive open online classes, also known as MOOCs, will have massively interrupted traditional four-year universities. In the video Epic 2020, Bill Sam makes the bold prediction that universities will be completely gone by 2020. While I don't see that happening in the next 2 years, I do think that MOOCs will become the more popular choice for higher education by 2050. I do share Sam's viewpoint, though, that higher education will become free, online, and give certificates in the places of degrees. While I don't know if that means that universities will be wiped out completely, I do know that they will be drastically different along with the traditional K-12 schools. So, speaking of K 12 schools, my prediction for them is that the model that we know now will be a thing of the distant past. Teachers in classrooms will be completely replaced. Students will now do all of their learning in innovation labs, maker spaces, and different virtual classrooms. Instead of having the teacher at the front of the room, imagine this. Students are learning about the Civil War from a hologram of Abe Lincoln himself. The idea of virtual reality and artificial intelligence will completely replace teachers as we know them. I also think that curriculum is going to change and shift from the Common Core standards to more skill based learning focused around the 4 C's of critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and communication. To be completely honest with you, it is really hard to predict what education is going to look like in 2050 because technology changes society so much each year. Advancements are happening right now that I didn't even think were real or possible. Look at places coming out with flying cars. Imagine what could happen in 30 years. It's really hard to do. Okay, educators, I know that the thought of new technology is really scary, and the idea of teaching new technology to students is like herding cats. But don't be scared by changing technology. The possibilities of what to come is super exciting, and it really is going to be amazing.